obviously an emotional night on senior night, and you got an opportunity with all those guys at the end. Just what does it mean for you to see those guys go out, especially Armando, who's now played the most games in ACC this year?
Yeah, it's just a really emotional night, seeing them before the game with their parents on the floor, and you're just thinking about so many memories, so many moments that you spent with each other. And I've talked about how things get so busy that you just go from moment to moment. You don't have very few times just to be able to enjoy the moment. And it was nice to be able to enjoy the moment of them being celebrated for what they've done for this year's team, for what they've done for this program, this university, and this community. And it was just a continuation by the way that they played tonight.
Did you know he was going to shoot those threes there at the end?
I did not. And, but if they go in, I'm okay. And it's the first three that he's hit since we played Oklahoma in Charlotte. So it's the first of 2024. And if he makes it, I don't have a problem with it. If he misses it, then we'll have a discussion.
Often teams kind of struggle on senior night because there's a lot of other factors in play. There's a lot of emotion. Your club was very dialed into that. A couple of guys were talking about how the mission was to be dialed in. Don't let the other things sort of get in the way of that.
No, they've been really good at that all season, eliminating or turning down the noise and focusing on what's most important. And what was most important was our preparation, our practice, how we played tonight. Even in the huddle, the guys just kept saying more to be said, more to be done. But I think it was also a motivational factor from the standpoint it was really a desire for them, to hang a banner and to at worst be regular season ACC champs. And that's something that hasn't happened in 5 years, and it was something that this group desperately wanted to do.
Aside from
Going back
getting
to
a win,
Armando.
aside from getting a win, that's what were you most pleased with tonight?
I was really proud of our defense. I thought, you talked about being locked in. I thought we were really locked in defensively. I thought our energy, our effort, attention to detail was really good. I thought we were impactful on the ball, with the exception of some offensive rebounds that led to 7 points in the first half. I thought we did a good job limiting them to one shot every possession. I thought we were disciplined for the most part, staying down on shot fakes. It put us in good positions to defend their three-point shooters. Defense is where it starts for us, defense and rebounding and taking care of the basketball. And I felt like we checked those three boxes the entire game.
Hubert, going back to Armando, he got very emotional with us in the media room just a few minutes ago. What is your description of his legacy, knowing that this is going to be his final game here in front of the Tar Heel Nation, and just what he means to the entire community?
Well, I'm glad that you said that. He's more than just what it means to this team. It's what he means to this program, this university, and this community. I mean, you think for himself and RJ, what they've been through in their 4 or 5 years here at Carolina. I mean, just the explosion of college basketball with the transfer portal, extra COVID year. I'm sure as they came in as freshmen, they didn't know they were going to deal with that, with NIL. And this is a group that went through a pandemic. And they've had to deal with a lot. And so for them, one of the things that I think is great about senior night that I hope never goes away, the tears of happiness are because you're happy, because you're sad, but it's also you're thinking about all the perseverance through the rainy days that have allowed you to experience tonight. And that's the cool thing, that, through all the things that they've been able to go through, that they stayed at one school as successful as they have been. That's the legacy that they leave for this team, for this program, for this university, and this community.
How important was it for you to give them that curtain call, the seniors there at the end? What was that moment like, sharing those hugs with them as they left the court?
Yeah, I told them that they would, earlier today, that this would be a moment that they would remember for the rest of their life, and for us to be in a position where we can take them out one at a time and for them individually be celebrated. I know this is something that they will remember for the rest of their life, and our crowd has been off the chart, and they were here in the celebration before the game and then after the game, just showing how much they appreciate not only their game but who they've been here at Carolina. And I'm glad we had the opportunity to do that.
Hubert, before the game and even at points during the game, RJ got a lot of one more year chance. There were a lot of, one more year signs as well. I guess kind of how different was it seeing that? Because obviously, a fifth year senior is a more, I guess, recent thing with the COVID and everything like that. So how different was it to see, people, pleading for a player to take a fifth year?
Well, I mean, they've done that over the last couple of years. They did that with Leaky, and they did that with Armando last year. And so, since the extra COVID year, we've actually had a couple guys hear those chants from the student body, from the fans of wanting them to come back. And, RJ's had a historic career, and he's put himself in a position to be able to make the best decision that's best for him and his family. Can't think of a better player to coach or be around this program than RJ and his family.
Hubert, let's talk about Corban Collins. He had a big game tonight,
Yeah.
going against his old team. How did it feel for you just to see the transfer all out tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Cormac, that's the sad part for me is I only get to coach him for 1 year. What he has brought to this team and this program in just 1 year, he has left a legacy by the person he is, by the player, by the teammate he is. Usually it's a somewhat emotional playing your former team, but I don't think there were very few guys from the team that were on when he was at Notre Dame, so it was almost kind of playing against a new team. But Cormac's always locked in. He's our guy, the voice in the locker room and the huddles on the court, and he had everybody focused on what was most important for us, and that was to get a win tonight.
Tell me about the defensive intensity that your seniors like Cormac and Armando brought tonight.
Yeah, just defensively, our guys know what allows us to have success. I think we can score. I think what has allowed us to be successful thus far has been our commitment to defense. I remember speaking to you guys right before the Oklahoma game, and I had spoken to the team and I said we hadn't made a full commitment to it, to defending and rebounding. And since that time, I think we've out-rebounded every opponent 19 in a row. I mean, that's huge. And then from that Oklahoma game, obviously it's varied a little bit, but I think our defense has been consistent. In league stats, we're number one defensively and defending the three, and in combination with how we can score, that puts you in a position to be successful whomever you play.
Armando 2 for 2 from behind the arc. Were you aware that he was becoming a sharpshooter?
No, and he can shoot the three, and I've told him he can shoot it. I just want him to shoot it at the right time. And because he's so good around the basket, I don't want him to go away from dominating points in the paint. I'll let anybody on the team. You can use whatever is in your bag. Sometimes the question is, a debate on what's actually in the bag, but I've given Armando permission to shoot the three. He can shoot it. I just want him to shoot it at the right time, and I don't want him to go away from what he does real best, and that's rebounding and dominate points in the paint.
So you say the 3 is in Armando's bag?
It is in his bag at the right time. Now, when is the right time? Maybe never. I don't know. But that's for me to determine.
Since we're going to be back here in 2 days, Adam, last one.
Hubert, did you have any sort of message afterward about clinching a share of the ACC regular season, or is that?
I did.
Talk about that another day.
No, we talked about it. We talked about it before the game. We talked about it after the game, and we talked about the opportunity to play Duke on Saturday and have a chance to win it outright. And so they were looking up in the rafters the last couple of weeks, and they were saying there's a little bit of room. There's some room right there next to that 2019 banner, and they were talking about it. This is really important to them, and they wanted this group to have something that was sustainable, and they were partially able to do it tonight. But we're excited about preparing and playing against a Duke team that's, I think, playing their best basketball thus far right now.
We'll talk more about you.